Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm doing an extremely rare live stream. It's like 7, it's 7:30 a.m. Time be flying. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and orient myself where I am in the cosmos. Any work I do right now is asynchronistic. Like I feel not in linear time so much as I'm in cyclical time. I respond to time where it's like, oh, the baby needs to eat, a diaper needs changed, a meal needs made, the sun has risen, the sun has set. So it's so cool to experience time in a way that is more maybe like how our ancestors experienced it, the more secular time. Like it's been really cool. I'm also keeping a new timekeeping system relative to the days, the weeks, the months, the years. Like you can kind of see it behind me, but I have my year at a glance. It's from Leonie Dawson, who I love, but it's like year at a glance um, poster, and then I got little stickers and put like stickers on them basically because I realized that year after year I do the same thing over and over, but it's in a way that I love it. It's like I can't wait until the holiday season so we can do our rituals. I can't wait for the growing season with plants so I can do my rituals. I can't wait for Thursday because I do my Thursday rituals, Monday because I do my Monday rituals, morning time because I do my morning rituals. So this is the first time I've been live on social media in a really long time. And I want to continue using YouTube as a space to leave my thoughts. This is kind of like my mind garden. It's also a place to link in the description box, like what I've been up to and how you can connect with me. If you've been following my work, you might have seen me in different facets of my life. I've been, young, just a small town girl with a big dream, Kayla, dreaming of going to Ohio State and like studying science so she can help people. And it's so cool to see clips of that. Like I might edit in a clip of me like manifesting that as a kid because I totally did go do that. Studying psychology in school, getting out of school, kind of being disoriented, starting to study Reiki and herbalism. That's why I think that my heart is so drawn to working with Gen Z right now, the kids that are like 20 right now, because they have so much like angst, or every generation coming of age can be really difficult, and I feel like they get kind of maybe taken advantage of sometimes for what they don't know. And I feel like a junior to all these freshmen, if that makes sense. It's like I'm no master, I'm no senior, but I am at the feet of these great master teachers, these great elders. I've been in it a minute, so whether we want to rep sophomore or junior, we feel like we in this bitch and we're trying to help freshmen. um but I have been okay since graduating college. Then I traveled all over the country. I traveled all over the world. I literally have like an international hub of homies that I can tap in with, hang out. Well, not hang out with because I'm in the house with these babies, but like a decentralized global community. And it's so cool to see what different people are up to. We have homies that are working on birth. We have homies that are working on natural building. We have homies that are working on growing the food. We have homies working on media, marketing, outreach. Like, we're just really here for it. Like, we have, between all of us, we have all the skills and we have a global grid all around the world. So I'm personally very excited about the future. It's just going to be a game of keeping your nervous system balanced. Like, I'm not here to tell other people what to do, but for myself, it's like it's a systems game. Like, keep your nervous system balanced, keep your bank account system balanced, keep your every system like balanced and flowing. And if just do a systems inventory, do like a systems analysis and be like, what systems am I even using? Who introduced these? And what are some alternative systems that could come online? Because I feel like something that might happen when you come into consciousness or awakening, you can be like, oh, I've been co-opted by this system that I don't agree with. Let me jump out of that. Like, I've been there. So when you jump out of that, whether you're jumping out of higher ed, or you're jumping out of church, you're jumping out of your corporate 9 to 5 type job, you're jumping out of, hetero normative expectation, I don't know, whatever you're jumping out of, you can have a tendency to want to take it all the way the other way and not do any structure. And I feel like that is a misunderstanding and like a misfire. It's not about rejecting systems and structure, although if you need that time to wander, that's valid, but you can get swept up in that time. So I would suggest now, speaking for myself, like I said, I only can. It is about what systems and what structure resonate with my lifestyle, with my personality, with my nervous system, with my family, and then how can I come up with like a standard operating procedure to where the stuff in my life that I'm habitually doing can be serviced, and maybe be serviced in less time, maybe be serviced not by me. You know what I mean? So as these things, the baby is literally sleeping, so it's like if you ever catch me live in the wild, you have to understand that I can be like summoned away at any time. I'm in like extra genie, like fairy mode these days, making wishes come true and all of that. But I want some time to help you make your wishes come true too. But yeah, so finding systems that you love, that's the era in my life I'm in right now. I'm calling it like my systems queen era, and I'll get into that more as the weeks go by. But it's very inspired by my great grandmother and the maternal lineage that I come from. Just women that have been very, like, no one ever named it as systems. We would call it like it, meaning our intuition. We would call it organization, meaning systems. The women thrived by running their homes in excellent ways over the generations. They sought more and more advanced professional careers. And then I'm kind of this like new fusion generation where I want to stay home, as much as my great grandmother did, but I want the purchasing power on the level of my mother and grandmother, who took, high earning professional and then entrepreneurial lanes. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm like all over the place. I know what it's like to be, just I'm not like talking working moms and not working moms is a whole other conversation, but I'm saying I've been in that space of like, oh, I'm not working in the way I traditionally have been. I'm just at home. I've dealt with all the kind of like mental stuff that comes with that, especially being a woman that has been trained to work professionally and all of that. Like if you put your like 13 plus years in of school, if you um work achieve a professional job and work that professional job, and then it's like you get pregnant, you want to stay home, you want to stay with your baby, like even though all of that you logically follow and you want to do it, it is still in your stretch zone. It was still in my stretch zone. I still had to do huge identity reshifting to be like, well, what the heck, now you just have, now the gods just in the house doing dishes like that. It's hard for the ego. So I feel like if you are inhabiting that liminal space, that intersectional crossroads type space, one, that's where I be living at. That's where I be staying at. We've gotten comfortable in the in between transition spaces. That's kind of where we thrive as like a being. Not to say we thrive there. We've just been made resilient by being put there many times, to where we feel like we can help others now. And yeah, so I'm just naming that is a difficult transition for young professional women to transition into being just stay-at-home moms, even though that's not even what it is at all. Huge dynamic shifts, and I'll talk about that as the days and the weeks go on, because I want, like, I've been making content. Don't get me wrong, like I've been making content. Just because you've not been seeing me, I've been doing a lot of back end documenting stuff, but I'm wanting to get better at formatting it all and making cute little artifacts and then giving it to people. Like, oh, here's all I learned in my journey navigating birth trauma in the NICU and a VBAC and a redemptive empowering birth. Like, boop. And then it's like, okay, here's all my tools relative to overcoming panic attacks and an anxiety disorder, like boop. And then, oh, here's all my gems relative to traveling abroad, living abroad as a digital nomad and working online from wherever you want in the world, like boop. um these things, it's just so funny because these things have been on my vision board, but I'm at a place right now where my younger 20-year-old self had all these big lofty visions because my life was so different 10 years ago. I'm at the 10-year anniversary of my great awakening, dark night of the soul. Even though a lot of people are just waking up now, I'm at like my 10-year anniversary. So as I'm doing a lot, and I'm almost at my birthday, and so we're where we're at on the spiral, where we're being very introspective. It's also almost the spring equinox, so like the true new year, if you will, is about to start. So just all these good things, all these positive things. I know I'm rambling, but the point of this was to dial in on what has been going on in February. But I'm just like, I don't want this channel to be anything else besides like, it's Kayla and people know it's me, and they can understand what my artistry is, what my vibe is, what my thoughts are. I'm going to be okay coming out of glam, to the space, cuz like I don't like, I can do all of that and I will do all of that, but I also need a space to come more raw and unfiltered. I also start every day with coffee, so also putting it on notice that I have a series called Queens and Coffee. That's trademarked. That's me, Queens and Coffee. And in that space, I will go over, I will essentially deconstruct how to be a powerful woman, dare I say it. But this, people, particularly, like I'm having a female experience, so I can only talk on that. And I know women are balancing, they're balancing being they're stewarding a lot. They're stewarding their own minds and bodies. They're stewarding children. They're stewarding their husbands or their men. You know what I mean? The men folk. They're stewarding like the youth in general. They're stewarding the elders in general. They're stewarding whatever business. So it's a lot going on. So Queens and Coffee is kind of a series where I sit down with women that are more seasoned matriarchs than me, and then I kind of want the tea. I'm like, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Because we're looking for longevity, we're looking to not burn out our nervous system. So that's good. Anyway, February has been good. I have been working behind the scenes on a lot of stuff, because I feel wintertime is not the time to be outside doing the most. Wintertime, every season I have a set number of focal points, and then every season I have a set number of like goals and stuff. But I ultimately designed my life around habits and systems, like things that I habitually do, and design my life around that versus say a one-off goal, which that's nice, but if you design your life around that, once the goal is done, it's kind of like a dip, you know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, what is my life again? So I design my life around systems and habits, things I can show up for every day and be kind of like really excited for, or every week or whatever. But that's kind of a signature thing with my brand right now, this like sacred timekeeping. As I said, you can see behind me, I have like my year at a glance, I have my month at a glance, I have my season at a glance. In my little journal, I have my day at a glance. I'm obsessed with like, yeah, calendars, timekeeping, stickers, all things paper craft, like sticky notes, note cards, our planners, our journals, our binders, books. I love my office supplies, my art supplies. I'm kind of in a phase right now where like I'm coming out as an artist. That's not something I've ever embraced in my life. Like I knew I was creative, I knew I could write, I knew I had an artist mind or brain or way of seeing the world. But I say I'm claiming an artist, or I'm coming out of the closet as being an artist, and I mean that professionally. I want to own, this is my portfolio. I want to own, these are my patrons. I want to own, this is my website. This is my grant funding. This is like, you know what I mean? I want to like stand on business a little more as an artist, because the business I've always stood on was like, I'm a healer. I'm studying psychology. I'm a healer. Is very like kind of heavy because I was interested in trauma healing and anxiety and shadow work, and I'm still very interested in that. Don't get me wrong, but you have to understand that the whole time I've been doing this work, my whole life's work has had a central thesis that I didn't realize as it was happening, but I'm able to see kind of post tense in retrospect what was happening. And basically, I have a central thesis, and this whole time with Simply Lucid, with all the other brands I've been doing or exploring with, experimenting with, I've been exploring the art of how to live well. And I was so obviously exploring that when I was exploring, herbalism, like stuff directly tied to wellness and healing as we think of it. But there was so much other stuff. Like I saw it in this holistic sense that I couldn't get away from. So I'll show probably like a visual here as well, but it's like, here's the central bubble. And in that center is like stewardship, or my concept of myself as steward. And then around that bubble is like spokes on a wheel. And there's 9 bubbles around that central stewardship. And it's all things that I steward. And then as that wheel turns, it's essentially the art of living well as you get to turning it. So again, I'm going live right now, but I hope to cut this up as I talk about it. But we have number 1, love and relationships. That's number 1 because that's the foundation of absolutely everything: human connection, love, relationships, communication, conflict resolution, love languages, all the good stuff. Number 2 is, I call it parenting and motherhood. Now these are all pillars, by the way. That pillar won't apply to if you're like not a parent, but I would say wear that identity if it does fit you, because it is an energy. You can be nurturing, you can be mothering your own self, you could be mother, you could be inner child. So I invite you to play with these categories, kind of like maybe not so much literally as archetypically. And if it doesn't fit you, you can explore that. If it does fit you, you can explore that. The third pillar I call style and beauty. This is something that I like kind of automated, but it does take some work to get set up in the first place, to know your style essence, to know your season, to know your body type, to know what clothes kind of fit you well. And as you kind of get immersed in my world, you will see that I'll send different resources your way of like I won't just say something and then not give you like a tip or, oh, this person can help you with that, So stay tuned for all of that back end information and resources. It'll all be on my website too, hopefully, because I've been stewarding these for years. Number 4 is fitness and wellness. That is the more traditional fitness and wellness as I've been trained to see it. That's like diet, nutrition, exercise, movement, things like that. Pillar number 5, and it's like kind of a lot of pillars, but they make up an infinity. So I'm like, it's not that bad. But number 5 is business and creativity. That is a pillar that I've been prioritizing this year, actually working on. What are my artifacts? What are my offerings? What are my standard operating procedures? What could an assistant help me with? What can I outsource to who and why, So that's really fun. I've been a creative entrepreneur literally my whole life. Growing up as a kid, my first memories being in my grandparents' business. But it was something that was so close to me. I didn't realize it. It's kind of like a fish swimming in water doesn't know it's like a fish swimming in water. But with time and distance and perspective, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been trained to be an entrepreneur this whole time, but it's just confusing because I got into school, or like, most of us get into school and we're not groomed to be chair people. We're not prepared. I want to say grooming because it's what I mean, but that word has such a bad connotation. I'm like, I need another word. But we're trained and prepared to be good employees, and that's okay. There should be a lane where good employees can be trained, and there should also be a lane where we can learn a whole bunch of other skills. Like, I like the word founder versus entrepreneur, because it's like you can found a family, you can found an enterprise that's primary focus is not to generate money. I also kind of like decentering capitalism, like I'm practicing decentering men, or decentering whiteness, or decentering colonial whatever, decentering, like it's part of that practice. But yeah, figure out how to be a effing founder and found some stuff that lasts and is stable in the chaos and the tumultuousness. So we are stewarding that. And then pillar 6 is mind and spirit. That's all things like breath work. That's like close your eyes and analyze everything going on inside, because you don't even need to focus on what's outside of you for right now if the inside is messed up. Also, sorry if I say like too often. That is something I'm trying to work on, and that is how I'm naturally programmed to speak, so I apologize. Pillar number 7 is called travel and exploration. I am a lifelong traveler. Again, I'll get into more all the stories as time goes on. And once I shifted my lifestyle into being more of like a stay-at-home mom, I went through more dark nights of the soul, being like, oh, well, I want to travel. I need to travel. What's happening? And so I framed it as travel and exploration, because honestly, traveling and exploring, similar to artistry and creativity, if you're touched by it, it's going to be how you see the world. It's going to be how you do everything, bitch. Like a trip to the grocery store will be an adventure. Everything gets to become an adventure. And that's fun. And then pillar number 8, I call domestic goddess. That's how to actually be and run your house and thrive in that. And that's a pillar that I'm living so much on the day to day right now. I kind of take it for granted. It doesn't feel like I'm doing anything, but I'm low-key mastering the art of the domestic art, how to stay at home, how to host, how to guest, how to have every room designed, how to have a meal. And this isn't like a hard science. It feels very much like a soft science, but the feedback is in real time. The feedback is in, your kids having a great time. The feedback is in people enjoying your gatherings as you've hosted them. And this is a pillar that I'm extremely grateful and blessed that I have so many matriarchs coming before me that I can just be like, the handmaiden to, as I want to cling on to, not being big mama for as long as I can, not because I'm intimidated by that role and position, but also because I'm so in love with the elders that I have, and I can't imagine them, leaving. But in the meantime, I want to learn as much as I can about being a domestic goddess from all those that have come before me and that are walking parallel to me now. And last but not least, pillar number 9, I used to call like financial freedom or like finance something, but that is so boring to me. Like the literal words of like finance and business, I don't resonate with them for whatever reason, and I choose in my life, in my free will, to use words that I resonate with more, especially because English isn't my first language. So it's like hard to translate sometimes. And then, yeah, so prosperity and abundance is now the new name for pillar number 9, because I like to see prosperity and abundance, again, decentering like money, fiat currency. Now that is a tool, and we have so many other things. Like when I see my fridge with food, when I see my produce on the stand, when I can go to the farmer's market, when my kids are awake and cuddling in bed in the morning, when I can call my grandparents still, like all of these ways that I can still feel, it's naming it as privilege, it's like these are privileges. Yeah, and just naming that and being like, oh, okay, I don't care if I have the most money as the next person. I want to own that I am as blessed as, whatever you want to call it, and then acting accordingly, stewarding accordingly. So I don't know if this counted as a February check-in. I'm definitely just checking in. You've survived the worst of the winter. I've talked a bit about kind of my journey so far, although I'll talk about that more in different times. I also want this podcast to be something that you can, like, you don't have to look at it, right? Like you can have your phone in your pocket, you can have your earbud in, you can listen at 1.25 speed, you can listen at 1.5 speed, you can do the dishes, you can chase after the kids, you can be like doing other stuff, you know what I mean? Because like the world is just happening so fast. I don't expect you to like sit and like watch me. um but I hope that the message is coming through, because the message is that like you are doing such a great job. You are a cornerstone pillar of your life, of the community, of your world. You're probably a woman if you're listening to me. If you are a man, you're probably like queer, gay, or something fabulous, and I so am so grateful for you being here. If you are like a straight man, I imagine you are like so conscious and so aware and like a fucking god at this point. So also welcome here. Goddesses, welcome here for sure. The main thing, like I said, we have a central thesis where we're exploring the art of living well. We're going to be popping on here more. We're going to be not really caring how we look so much, because we're in a season of raw, unfiltered motherhood. And like stuff can be so edited and engineered. Like I can do that, and I can also be like, whatever, this is me out of drag, out of glam, if you will. Although we wish to have our like glammed up moments that we're excited for. But yes, the some other things just on the spring agenda. Let me check my things. I mean, I'm just excited to talk about the stuff I've been working on. We have ooh, I just added a thing. Yay! Okay, let me see if I check. All right, I'm testing the comment. February check. Okay, I like it. So basically, we're in February. Spring is happening soon. Let me know who is planning on growing food or anything like that, because we do steward initiatives to help people do that. If you are we have initiatives where we're helping people get connected to grants, helping people get connected to projects they might want to. So it's like, if the art of living well is in the center, like I said, and like the steward is in the center, we have those 9 pillars. So I'm a weirdo. I have my fingers in all of the pillars because I'm like a weird Renaissance person. Like I'm into all of the different things, and that's just what it is. So if you are someone like that, come hang out here, because I have to figure out how to be like that without going crazy in the world, in the matrix. But also, if you just resonate with one of those pillars, come hang, because relative to pillar 1, we have a bunch of tools in the toolbox, backgrounds in psychology, been relating forever, you know what I mean? Pillar 2, we have the Inspired to Birth initiative. That's, like I said, that's everything I learned and loved on my journey of 2 births. I navigated super long traumatic birth, a NICU journey, then I navigated a VBAC that took like 2 seconds. Like it's a whole thing, and I'm trying to figure out, like, do I do that in a different space? Do I do that here? I don't know, but it's like that's pillar 2. We also do some work with matrescence, like the actual coming into motherhood, like the identity shift. um Pillar 3, that's not public facing so much as we have like our private thread. We basically just have a private Discord in general where we work through all of this together. So that's in the Discord. Pillar 4, that's in the Discord. Pillar 5, I'm really excited for that, because basically every spring and every fall we have what's called an accelerator, and it's just it's structure for you as an artist to be like, okay, here's my week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Here's my hot seat coaching. Here is every week I can see like my focal points for the season. I can see my goals for the year. I can see my goals for this season, this 12 weeks. I can see every week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 what I'm doing. I can be in the chat sharing show and tell. I can be in the coaching thread. So I'm excited for that container, the accelerator container. Again, that runs only twice a year, and we're about to run it for the spring semester of 2026. And then, as a benefit of being in the accelerator, you get to exist in the Discord space at no additional cost. You can just be in the Discord space hanging out with us. And if you do also just want to be in the Discord space hanging out, you can let us know that as well, basically. But we're really excited. We're here for helping artists thrive. We're here to help you turn the chaos into clarity, turn your art into assets. If you're in a space of like you don't really know who you are or what you want to be doing, I would say this isn't so much, well, this is still the space for you, don't get me wrong, but the accelerator is not so much. The accelerator is for, you know who you are, you know what you're supposed to be doing, you're actively doing it, you're just literally like me. It's like, I need time, I need structure. I just need structure in what I'm doing, and I want camaraderie in what I'm doing, and I want my work witnessed, and I want to be held accountable, but it's also very vulnerable and I'm nervous, you know? And yeah, so I've created this space primarily for me, and I really like it, and I'm going to be inviting other people into it for the spring. And anyone who rocked with me the last round of Successful Creative, you can I'll just be reaching out to you soon. You can hang out in the alumni space. And yes, Pillar 6, that's also just like in the Discord. Although I made a lot of like subliminal meditations as I was preparing for my VBAC, so I want to be putting my subliminals out better. And then Pillar 7, that's also, yeah, just everything else is kind of private, aka in the Discord. But then Pillar 8, we are going to be releasing some initiatives trying to help people like get excited about stewarding their home space, their homestead, their gardens, their what have you, and becoming like queens of the castle themselves, if you will. But just naming that the theme for this year for season 26 is Renaissance. I'm coming back on the scene with my, not with my babies, but you know, as like a transformed mother now, a young matriarch now with these 2 kids. It's a renaissance of myself. It's about to be spring, so nature's in a little renaissance. I'm revisiting work I've done in the past, coming back to light in like a fresh new way. That's renaissance. Like our culture is shifting so much. We have so much in common, kind of like with medieval times already. So yeah, I'm just claiming it. I'm claiming it. I'm clocking it. I'm putting it on record that this year is renaissance. And if you want to hang out, if you want to be contained, if you want to have community, if you want a place to wake up and like have a place to say, oh hey, I'm working on this, to be cheered on, to be celebrated, to be oriented and not just survive and thrive in these chaotic times. And like, I by no means can help. I'm not here to like save people or rescue people, but I have acknowledged that I have a huge need for structure, safety, consistency, security, artistry. Again, we're exploring how to live well, and then now we're exploring how to live well in chaotic times such as these, you know, which has always been kind of the deal, but things have just been getting kind of crazier seeming, you know. But yeah, like I'm here. If you don't want to pay any money, you just want to come kind of like witness, hang out, we have something for you basically. If you're like, yes, I need the accelerator, I want to have like tangible assets I can go sell, that can go work for me, so that I don't have to commodify myself. I can commodify artifacts, you know what I mean, or assets better. Come hang out in the accelerator. If you are like, oh my god, Kayla, I'm so terrified of giving birth, like how could that even be a thing? That's not a traumatic, terrible thing. I'm like, come talk to me. I will probably have live inspired to birth workshops, play shops a few times a year, but I'm always available if you just want to like pick my brain about anything. I'm a total birth nerd at this point, and I can hope to continue to study and be a doula and a midwife. That's like such a big calling. And yeah, so I'm all over. You can think I'm like in the mycelium network. My little tendrils are like everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, birth stuff. Oh, okay, like indigenous ritual. Okay, take out the trash. Okay, dish. You know what I mean? It's like we're all over the place, but I really feel like, again, renaissance relative to my own life. I navigated my 20s, and now I'm like, I just had this realization yesterday. It's like my childhood is over, but my youth isn't over. And like, yeah, you know what I mean? That's like fun, exciting. I literally have like 20 more years in this bitch, God willing, before I'm even like a traditional elder. So this is really exciting. We just have to stay the course. We have to, yeah, just stay the course. And if this message reached you, come hang out, come say hi. I'll try to put all the linky descripties in the description. And I hope to just hop on here more and just not really care about how I look, but just get the messaging. But that's a little February check-in. Nothing too much happened. My dad had his birthday. Shout out to my dad. Valentine's Day, we don't really celebrate it, but like it's just, I use February as a time to be kind of just like self-reflecty on relationships and stuff. And every day really be Valentine's Day if you're tuned into the love frequency, as my friend Lynx was talking about. Shout out Lynx. And then, yeah, big thing in March is the spring equinox. We're back, baby. We got Renaissance. We got successful creative spring semester enrolling for the accelerator, and we got my birthday. We have just a lot of stuff coming back to life, and we're just here on the record, grateful. And yeah, let me know what you think. This has been me talking about whatever I want, connecting with people who are like my people, if you will. So yeah, let me know how you're doing. Let me know if this message hits you. What do you want more of or less of in this space? And I love y'all. Bye.